In this lesson, we're going to discuss the difference between position and displacement. So if I have an axis and I can look at where my robot is at different times. So maybe at 0 seconds, my robot's at the origin, and at 3 seconds, or 1 second, excuse me, it's at 3 centimeters, and then another second later, maybe it's at 6 centimeters. And then at 3 seconds, it's at 9 centimeters. Now what I can ask myself is, where is my robot as a function of time? And when you hear the word where is something, you need to think about position. So a good way to look at this is by looking at two columns, one for time, one for position, and again this is in centimeters. And we can say that at 0 seconds, well, it's at 0 centimeters. At 1 second, it's at 3 centimeters. At 2 seconds, 6 centimeters. At 3 seconds, it's at 9 centimeters. Now what is this thing we're calling displacement? Displacement says, well, how far am I away from something? So how far, you can say that's a difference, and that difference is going to be, well, where did I end up, my final position, subtracted by, well, where did I start, my initial position. Now in our picture, our initial position, let's box this off, our initial position was where? Well, initially we are at 0 seconds, we are at 0 centimeters. So if I wanted to know, well, what was my displacement from time 0 to 1 second, I would say, well, I initially started off at 0 centimeters. I ended up at 3 centimeters, giving me a displacement of 3 centimeters. Well, how far was I displaced at 2 seconds? Well, at 2 seconds I ended up at 6 centimeters. I initially started at 0 centimeters, so my displacement is 6 centimeters. And we can continue to do this, and again, create a chart for the displacement. And one column could be, well, what was my displacement in seconds? At each second. What was my actual displacement in centimeters? And so we can say, well, at 0 seconds, my final position would be at 0, my initial would be 0, so I'd gone 0 centimeters. We just saw that at 1 second, I was displaced 3 centimeters. At 2 seconds, I've been displaced 6 centimeters. And at 3 seconds, we've been displaced 9 centimeters.